Hey AfterBuzzers! Born This Way Season 4 is happening right now. Episode 3, Don't Limit Kitty, and 4, Home Alone. Megan makes her AfterBuzz TV debut. Rachel celebrates her 35th birthday in Vegas. And will Christina and Angel decide on a wedding venue? And stay tuned because we have some very special guests tonight.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, it's your host Virginia Reyna-Dunne, and like I said, we have some really special guests with us tonight, but first let me introduce my hosts.
What's up everyone, I'm Steph Sabraw. I'm so excited for today's episode.
Hi, I'm Carlina Will. This episode is amazing. Let's get in it.
Amazing, and to my right we have special guests Janice and Paul Musso for the Down Syndrome Research Foundation. And on the phone with us, the lovely Megan. Megan, we're so happy you're on with us.
I miss my family. Thank you for putting me on the phone tonight.
Yeah, we are so excited you're with us. So, just real quick, thoughts on the episode, ladies, before we talk to Megan.
Oh my gosh, like this song introduced, we have a boss on our hands right now. It was so exciting to see the fashion launch, the business launch, the roommate situation. It was just such a happy episode, and there's so much growth, and I was obsessed with it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we have to dig into Christina and Angel's wedding planning, from choosing a venue to deciding, if they want a DJ or a band. I'm so excited about this.
Me too. I loved every minute of it. But first, let's go to Megan. Megan, what can you tell us? We loved you having you here on AfterBuzz. When are you going to come visit?
I want to come in California, and I want to work for you guys as a TV host and to talk about the TV shows that I've been watching and Born This Way too. So it's really cool.
Megan, you can't see, but I'm actually wearing one of your clothing line pieces. This one says, "Actually, I can," and it's been giving me the proper vibes for the entire day. How's the launch been going?
I love it.
Have you gotten a lot of business lately?
Yes, I have, yes.
I knew it. Carlina had some questions, though, about the whole move-out situation.
Yes, okay, so I saw that you and Rach are roommates now, so can you kind of explain, your first night away from your mom? How was that?
It was awesome. I had my freedom for the night that I did with Rachel, but I did have a breakdown on the show on Born This Way with her, but she was pretty sad and pretty emotional stage as a woman that she is on the show on Born This Way. She has a fear of letting me go and letting me follow my own dreams and what I love and what the person that I care the most. And it's really cool that I get to do that. But when I see her do that, it makes people cry and sad and happy inside of the parents too. But for me, I know that I feel the same way too about young adults like us myself. But I've been craving freedom for a very long time, and I want to keep doing that for the rest of my whole life by myself into a different state in California and working for you guys at AfterBuzz.
Well, you are just such an inspiration to all of us. I mean, from the clothing line to AfterBuzz, and I just absolutely love your relationship with your mom. Like, it definitely makes me cry pretty much every episode.
Yes, it does. But you know what? You just showed your mom that you can handle your freedom. You're ready to move out and live by yourself, and you're a boss lady. Like Steph was saying, starting your own company. So you know what? I personally think you're ready, and you've got this, Megan. Come. We have a seat for you. We already told you. You're welcome to join us.
Before we let you go, though, what is next for the Megpire?
Yeah, the Megpire. I've been naming all these companies that I want to work with, and then I made up this thing called Megpire. So it's something that I watch in myself and the things I do, and I mean it Megpire.
Can I join the Megpire?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We all want to join. Well, thank you so much, Megan, for joining us on the call tonight. And anytime, you are always welcome to come in here and be with us.
I would love that. That'd be so awesome. I've been craving the freedom for myself for the longest time ever.
And we'll see you on the finale.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hopefully see everybody on the finale.
Yes, everyone will be joining.
Yeah, that too. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a good show to watch, and it's full on drama.
Oh, good.
But
Well, we love the drama like you love the drama when you're watching it AfterBuzz. So, again, thank you so much for calling in. We are going to go to Steph because she has some very special news for all the AfterBuzzers.
AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help, and we're asking you to subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. And by subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they are optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. And let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll definitely shout you out on the air. And for now, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of Talk TV.
Woo woo. All right, so we are going to go right to Christina and Angel. And if Megan, you're still on the line, we're just going to say bye and thank you so much for calling in. And we even have our little Hello Kitty.
We have Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty's waving bye to you, Megan.
thank you.
All right, well, we'll talk to you at the finale.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
And
Bye.
bye. So up next we have Christina and Angel, one of our favorite couples on the show. They are planning for their wedding. Carlina, what did you think of the wedding venues they were looking at?
Okay, you guys, I was all about the Queen Mary. Like, I wanted them to get married on a boat, because I was thinking, like, I know Titanic's bad, but, like, you know, it's a beautiful love story, so you're just thinking about the ship and everything, but ultimately, the venue that they went with, which is the Ebel, that was beautiful, and you could just see in their eyes that they're like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is where we should be, you know, and they're just walking, and you feel all the emotions, and so they ultimately picked the right place, I think, for them.
Yeah, and my issue with the boat, although it would be pretty, is the seasickness. You can't control who's going to get seasick or not, and you don't want that at your wedding.
The Queen Mary doesn't move.
So wait, why do you think I'm laughing? No, let Steph keep going, guys.
Let me keep thinking it's a moving boat. I was wondering, where are you going to sail during this wedding? But I do love the part where they sit down and talk with the pastor about I feel like every conversation that they had with the parents, with the grandparents, solidified their wedding and their union and kind of clarified what they needed to clarify.
Yeah, and I really thought that when she sat down with the mom, it was like, you know, you're going to have that mother-in-law relationship. So, you know, because she was really worried, like, that's her son, like, she's been caring.
His grandmother.
Yeah. And so, but like that relationship that you have, like with a little boy, I have little boys. So it's like, it's just so different. And so you're like, okay, this woman is going to now take care of him. Mm-hmm. You know, she really, you know, it was just very sweet that she was like, yeah, I'm going to take care of him. I got it.
Steph, what'd you think about the gift she gave her at the end? That's when I started crying.
Oh my gosh, it was so cute. I never even thought about where you would put your rings when you're doing like household chores and stuff, but to have it in a family heirloom is just the sweetest thing ever. And I feel like it really solidified this bond that, like they said, wasn't there before.
And I think just all of them, how they're always saying, like, this was so unexpected. We never dreamed of having, you know, of going down this road with them, you know, and them getting to experience all of that as parents, I think is really great too.
Yeah.
So up next is Rachel's 35th birthday in Vegas, which I was so excited. Like, she is just the funnest. Like, she just always exudes just like fun and radiance. And she's meeting up with her special friend Frank. What did you guys think of that?
Frank is super nice, and like I'm intimidated because, you know, he's like going and speaking in front of, you know, politicians and Congress. I don't do that. So like
who does? Who gets to do that?
I know. So he's like, I love that he's an advocate, you know, for Down syndrome and like, you know, standing up for, you know, his rights and the rights of everybody else. And he's just inspirational.
I loved the whole Rachel plotline of these episodes was giving me absolute life. Rachel is just the most positive light ever, and then I love how Frank made the drink that had the 3 states incorporating the family, which was so amazing and so smart, and no boyfriend I've ever had would think of something like that. Not that they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but and I love that he is such a good influence on Rachel as well, and now she wants to be an advocate, and she wants to go and do public speaking, and be able to like excel her career in a different path that she hasn't done before, which is amazing when you have friends who bring you up like that.
Absolutely. And I loved their little connection. Like, she was so excited when he came to the, like when they saw her, and, and then they did that like gondola ride, and they were like almost touching, but not touching, it was just the cutest. But he definitely is an inspiration to the whole community. And with that, let's go to Janice and Paul Musso, because you all are also advocates for the community. Now, can you kind of explain how you all got started and what your foundation is all about?
The Down Syndrome Research Foundation is a foundation that Janice's father started. Janice's youngest brother, David, was born with Down syndrome. And a few years after he was born, we began to realize that there really wasn't a solid research foundation that was there to help. There was a lot of research that was taking place, but nothing was connecting the dots. There were a number of families that were doing a lot of vitamin therapy, but there was no real research to back up the results that they were having. So that was the initial motivation, was to kind of bring all of this together and establish research that you could prove and ultimately get funding for. When you look at Down syndrome, it's just that it's a syndrome of many diseases that unfortunately creates a lot of damage to the individual that has Down syndrome. So early on, they realized with all of the vitamin therapy and everything that all of these parents were doing individually, by keeping young children healthy, they learn better.
Yeah.
Right? So if it just for anybody, if we're healthy, we're active, we get involved. So any way to improve the health had all just phenomenal positive results. Mm-hmm. So the Research Foundation has just carried that on, and it's been there for about 22 years now, I think.
Quite some time, yes.
Yeah.
And also a strong support for family, parents coming together and supporting one another, and I would have to say, reaching out to people that basically just found out they had a Down syndrome child and offering support and some new information that perhaps wasn't available. Mm-hmm. So I know that we definitely put stuff out to hospitals where that information was obviously needed when they first find out that they have a Down syndrome child. So I think that there are several different things that we do as a charity. Paul touched base a little bit about the supplements, but also it's a very strong family, just a support system for one another. Yeah, so it's done a lot of awesome
That's what
things.
I love about your foundation and Born This Way, is that you're bringing these parents and the kids and the adults together in this community and family to really form these bonds and understandings and learn from each other in ways that you can't before. But I was interested, we talked a little bit about the research and connecting with Alzheimer's. Can you guys elaborate on that?
Well, we're not physicians.
Disclaimer.
Although we stayed at home.
Non-doctor.
Right. But sadly, one of the things that affects a lot of people with Down syndrome is early onset or Alzheimer's. So as a result, one of the things that Frank mentioned when he was actually before, I don't recall if it was Congress or the Senate, but he was testifying, and because of the research that's done with Alzheimer's in Down syndrome, it's really moved forward the treatment of Alzheimer's in general. So it's really making some headway, slowing things down for everyone. Mm-hmm. And it's remarkable that, we've got some focus, but yet it just has this, just every day you figure something new out that we can help with.
Yes.
And I think we have a short video, if we could go ahead and play that.
And this is, Carlina, do you want to introduce this? This is Frank.
Yeah, this is Frank, and I believe he's talking in Congress, about Down syndrome.
And this is who we saw in the episode with Rachel. Oh, yes, here we go.
Here we go.
He's actually in the UK here. He spoke with Parliament.
I do AA tournaments. I do a lot of high school talks. Well, as college, life is something wonderful to hold. When you have a life like mine, you can understand what people who like me feel when we get bullied constantly. But then now and then, life can be great when we live with the same goals. We dream the same dreams. We want to have a life like yours, a life with more people around you, more acceptance. If you have a baby like me, have the baby, because you don't know if it's going to have Down syndrome like me, which is basically high functioning, but also have a baby, it's going to be somewhat harder to learn. I mean, it's still worth educating for. Don't be afraid of what's down.
Right, amen.
Yes.
They have a chance of experiencing great joy when they have someone like us, because all life is precious. It's mine, but people like you, like me, we all experience joy, the same fears, the same loves, the same. You just want to be born and be happy. Just keep pushing to have a baby with Downs, because we aim to make parents happy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just trying not to cry here.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
When you experience a hug that's long and it's lasting,
Yeah.
and every time we get a hug from David or anybody that's one of David's friends or anybody in our DS community, it's awesome.
Just unconditional love. Yeah,
It's
just wonderful.
Amazing. Just amazing.
You can't you just get happy every time you're around him. You just can't help it.
Well, that's
Just
how it
such a
feels watching the
sweetheart.
show. Like,
Yeah.
there's just like so much warmth around all of the,
Right.
everybody on there.
Cast,
And I was
yes.
talking to the producer of the show, and kudos to the whole production team of making such an amazing show like this. And we were saying that that's what makes these individuals so special and the show so special, that it's just, they are exactly like us, except they found a way to cultivate joy and live life like we all should be living
Yeah.
life.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard not to fight back tears right now, because that's just so beautiful. Because ultimately, like, when somebody has when they do the genetics testing, Virginia can talk about this, like, as a mom, like, if they find out your baby has Down syndrome, they usually ask for an abortion, which is so sad. So like, literally, Frank's video is just like asking parents to give them a chance to be born and live their life. And literally, that's what I love about Born This Way, is that it's showing them that they can live a normal life.
Yes.
You just like share your love, show them they have friends, they can get married. If some of them, they can drive, they can live by themselves if they want to, or they can just have a fantastic. I think what really matters is having a fantastic community surrounding you and telling you, like, you can do it. And I'm religious, so like, one of my friends, Rich, I like met his friend. He goes to our church. He has a friend named Kyle with Down syndrome, and he said literally, and I agree with this quote, talking to him is like, seeing when he speaks about how his happiness and just talking to somebody with Down syndrome, it's like looking through God's eyes, because they just look at something so positive, such positive people. And why not have more positive people in the world?
Exactly.
I agree with Frank. Have your baby. This is beautiful.
Yeah, and like the genetics testing, I mean, it's only been around for not as long as it's only been around like maybe 10 years to be really accurate. And like, I know when I turned 35, they were like, we need you to do this test, like, because I was in California, and it was like, okay, well, either way, it's just going to prepare me, you know. And I feel like that, and then that's how a lot of women feel, is like, okay, if you know, like, then you can find your community and you can really prepare yourself, because it is, I mean, how different did that affect your life when you found out about this?
Well, initially, of course, not having any exposure to it whatsoever, it came as a shock. So there's, of course, the time period where you're coming to terms with that and accepting it and gaining more understanding about, okay, what does this mean in the long term? And so I think as a family, it definitely brought us together. And we just tried to work on what is the best way that we can make David's life reach its full potential. So I know that with my dad, he kind of wanted to do that, of course, as a father figure, but then he started noticing out in the community just the need for other families who just needed that arm to reach out to them and to be that support for them. So I think with the charity, that definitely happened. Mm-hmm. So that's always been his heart, definitely.
Yeah.
So
when Janice's father died, when we were there for the service, you know, there was a discussion about what are we going to use for the focal point? And her mother decided to use a white cherry tree with the blossoms. And it was just to represent all the children that he helped.
Yeah, thousands of
families.
kids. Yeah.
That's just
And
so
it was
beautiful.
just, you
Yeah.
know, so, you know, when I see David and you spend time, now there's this fantastic association with the cherry tree and the blossoms and the purity of the white.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was beautiful. It was subtle, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And as a result, you know, of course, the charity is based in the UK, but it's far-reaching. So, you know, there's things going on in the United States. There's things going on in the UK. Bring everybody together. And, you know, when you talk about the testing, you know, I think of myself as, who are we to decide?
Yeah.
Who are we to tell what should and shouldn't be that's we're creating within ourselves?
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
individual.
because I mean, even like I remember when we did the testing and it was like, okay, everything is great, but it's like you don't know, like there could still be anything happening. Like even my son at 3, like he could get leukemia, or you know, there's always
Right.
something that can happen.
Right.
So like the test, it doesn't decide one way or another your happiness or your child's happiness.
Right.
So, and I know in California, like they almost make you have to opt out of it, and it's like, why are they? I don't know. We don't want to get into politics, but you know, but it's like, why is that decision ours?
Exactly. And where are they going to draw the line?
Yeah.
Is it going to be when they're 3 or 4? And there's something else that takes place, or
Just
24,
like you said.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
85?
Well,
Where's that line going to be drawn?
So
If we decide that we know more than our Creator.
well, and I mean, that's what the beauty of this show is. It is to show everyone that like they're all happy.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
they create such a wonderful community. And, you know, it's like when I see them, I'm just like, gosh, I want to be that happy.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I want to live that joyous and like be that free and like the independence. It's
Yeah.
just, it's so amazing.
And we heard Megan say like over and over, like her freedom, her freedom, her freedom. So like that's just amazing. I don't know if Janice and Polly want to explain a little bit more about it, but remember like when Elena and I think who was it, Steven's parents like asked them like, if we moved away, would you be okay, you know, living by yourself or in a home or something like that? Can you kind of elaborate on like how big of a deal it would be for them to like live on their own or have roommates, you know?
Right, and I think, of course, it's going to be dependent on the extent of whether they can be self-sufficient or not. Of course, that is something a parent would know that at that age anyway. So I'm certainly for that. I think as a community, it's certainly ideal to have be surrounded with friends and family, have that support. I mean, we all need that support.
Yes.
So let's just be honest.
Yes.
I want to be able to call my mom and say, get over here quick. So I don't think that it's any different from them. I think that independence is there, certainly. Usually it starts at teenage years and does not leave them. But Yeah, I think I'm for that, definitely. I think that it's certainly a situation where I would probably want it to be a couple roommates, you know, just to kind of feel each other out and see how to coexist. And I think we all can learn from that type of situation. But I think that certainly a growing experience, as all of us know, moving out on our own.
Oh my God. So, you know, Elena did speak about how, like, oh, well, maybe I'll just live in a group home.
Yeah.
Is that pretty common?
I think so. Yes, it certainly is.
Any support that can be gained in the environment is advantageous.
Yes. I know at
So-
one point in the UK, David actually went to a place where it was like a group home situation where they did actually evaluate and determine their sufficiency. Could they be out on their own? Did they take them out to the shops and decide, you know, what can they do on their own? So, of course, that's certainly very advisable to do that beforehand. And you want to, I mean, number one, you want to make sure they're safe, of course. So I think that, but as far as the group home environment, certainly is very popular. I think that in America probably more so than in the UK, but I think that I'm definitely for that, and I know that that independence causes them to grow and expand and, of course, learn quite a bit. So
Any child tells you when they're ready to move out, right?
over and over.
You know, I know with our children, you know, there was more tension with myself and my boys as they were ready, because there were there was too much testosterone. And our daughter, you could see the conflict growing with Janice and our daughter when they were ready to go out and naturally go out. And I think that same ability is there, regardless of what issues, health issues, mental, physical, what health issues might be there.
Yeah.
And so a parent knows.
Yeah.
And as long as they support, they're never going to not worry. We
Well, and
worry about our children.
I know for my brother, we actually created an apartment for him so that he was able to have some of that independence, but still be, of course, close enough for support, because his functionality is a little different. It's not high function, so we have to have that supervision a little more so. But still, he wanted independence, so we were able to do that, which I know he appreciated that.
Yes.
So definitely.
Yeah, he frequently tells us he's a man.
Yes. It also on that same similar topic is what Virginia was saying. What really got to her is the bond that these particular young adults have with their parents is different than what we might have, just because you spend so much, you might spend more time with each other. And it was just so beautiful to see Chris being able to let her go, even though you could see how hard it was.
hard.
Yeah, because I mean, I was crying because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my 3-year-old is already graduating and going off to college, you know, and like he's only going to live with me probably 18 years, but like she has lived with her for like, with Rachel, like 35 years. She's lived with her parents. Like, I just don't even know how you would process, like, okay, she's not going to be there when I wake up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, they just do such a good job of like, they're ready, they're independent. You have to let go. So
Definitely.
yeah, it's just so inspiring every
Yeah.
episode.
Yep.
Speaking of inspiring, there is a quote from Rachel that I bolded, I have to say, because I wish I had her. I used to play field hockey in college, and I was like, I needed this pump up that I didn't have before. And she said, hold on to your dreams, follow your heart, and listen to what it tells you. I'm like, no one's ever said that to me, Rachel. I took it personal.
Yeah.
That was super sweet.
Yep.
So where can everyone, find out about the foundation? What can they do to help moving forward?
Definitely. Well, of course, we do have a website, which you're welcome to. I believe they're going to also put this up on the screen. You're welcome to go and check it out, dsrf-uk.org. And you can see all that we are doing research-wise. And yes, and for the future also, of course. And of course, any financial support certainly will go towards research. So you are more than appreciated if you are able to do that. And I know that if you are in the UK, please look us up and feel free to volunteer. We'd love to have your help.
Well, thank you guys so
Absolutely.
much
Thank
for just
you.
being advocates for the community
Oh,
and
definitely.
just getting everybody involved.
Well, we really appreciate the invitation. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Very, very much.
Thank you very much, and you guys are awesome. We're so proud of you.
So speaking of quotes, let's go back to that because I loved it when Christina and Angel were on the Queen Mary, or was it the Queen Mary when they were? Oh yeah, because
Don't ask me because I clearly don't know about the Queen Mary.
Okay, Carlina, then to you. So when they were like, well, if you don't have a minister, the captain can marry you. And Christina was like, oh, but I only want to marry Angel.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and she didn't get that he was saying that.
Oh, my gosh.
They're just too cute. She was like, nope,
Aw.
only Angel. He's my favorite.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
such a good point.
My favorite quote was Megan because, she has to represent AfterBuzz. She said, AfterBuzz is legit for me.
Yeah.
It means it's good. Really good.
Yeah, can we talk about Megan at AfterBuzz a little bit more?
Yeah.
Because we saw one of our Keven Undergaro and Maria Menounos who started AfterBuzz, and he got introduced to Megan, and you see that in the episode. And I wasn't even aware of the full background because I went to the launch party and I saw their connection. And when I say she ran up to him when she saw him, it was a full-on sprint. I'm like, dang, how did they build this connection? And we see it in the episode, and it was the most awesome partnership I've ever seen on TV.
Yeah, the HelloKitty partnership was amazing. Like, her designs are so beautiful as they are, and they just took them and they just elevated it, and it was just stunning. And the way that they just were like, you are the boss lady, like, you are it. I feel like that was just such a good message for everybody.
Yes.
And she was talking about all the bosses she wants to be like, and she was like Oprah Winfrey, and she's like, "Hi, Oprah." And I was like, I love
You
them.
have to say, hi, Oprah.
And we had her in this studio, not maybe this studio.
No, it was the studio. She was here,
specifically.
yeah.
And she killed it.
She killed it. She is so funny. I just love her. She's like, I'm going to just be the one twerking. Like, she is just too cute.
Yeah, she totally held her own, and that was her first time hosting, I
Yeah.
believe, and you couldn't even tell. So, yeah, definitely Megan is invited to come host with us.
Absolutely.
To sit.
And her and Keven were just so sweet, though, because Keven is the best. Like,
Yes.
he is such a good mentor to everyone here. You know, like, I mean, he's just given me the best gems of advice. And so just to see, like, their little connection was just heartwarming.
And to see the talent and actually sit down with her and ask her what she wants to do, because we see that talk with her and Chris where she's like, it's getting too much. They have too much orders for what their home can handle. And he was able to set them up with a business partner who set them up with HelloKitty in Sanrio. And so it was really awesome to see the process of them combining her clothes all under her jurisdiction and creating these products. I mean, you are so many steps ahead of the fashion industry.
So many. Like, she partnered with HelloKitty.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
I can't even partner with HelloKitty. This is fantastic. No, I really thought of Keven as like her fairy godfather. He was just like coming in like, I'm gonna make all your dreams come true. You're going to host. You're going to have a fashion line. I was just like, look at you, Keven.
But that's Keven. Like,
It
that's what
is.
he does for people around
That is
here.
what he does.
So
He finds talent and then he works it.
Yes.
he does. Yeah. He is everyone's fairy godfather.
He is. It's like-
So last but not least, I think we should do a little bit of predictions. Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, Carlina, what do you have for us?
Okay, you guys. First of all, Megan and Rachel's housewarming party. Did you guys see? Like, I wanted to be there first because this thing looks like it's gonna be fun and they're gonna turn up like they said they were gonna do.
And the
So-
sign said "Happy No Drama Party."
Yes, yes. So first of all, I don't think they're gonna realize like the fun of having a party, but they're gonna be like, oh wait, we have to clean up. This is our house. Mom is,
That's what you
not
call
here.
mom.
Yeah, that's what you call mom. So that part I think is gonna be crazy. And then I'm interested to see more about Sean's clothing line, because we're on the topic of clothing line. Like, I want to see what's going on there.
Totally.
So it's probably going to be as poppin' as Megan's.
I cannot wait to see the No Drama Party. I do wish I was invited to that as well. Every day should be a No Drama Party.
Yes.
I want to see. I miss Elena, so I'm hoping to see more Elena next episode and a little more of the boys back in town. So I think next episodes will be a little bit more geared towards their end.
Yeah, I definitely miss Elena. I don't know. She is just my favorite because she's just so funny and so frank with everyone that you know you're just going to get something good out of her. And a little bit more of the boys. And I am just really excited for this wedding. I feel like there's going to be a little more drama before the wedding because there just has to be. But yeah.
Because it's a wedding.
It's a wedding.
I'm still like on the fence between like the DJ and the band because they're both good choices.
DJ.
Really?
Yeah, then okay, this is my thing with the live band. Everyone's like, oh, it's classier. I'm like, but I want the actual artist doing the song.
Oh, you don't want any like
covers.
You don't want covers.
No. I'm bougie.
No
No
covers.
You are bougie.
No covers at Steph's wedding.
No.
Hey, I'm with Cristina.
You can do a little of both, you know.
Everything Cristina said, I said, yes, girl. Get your way, because you're right.
Wow, watch out for this one.
I know.
Well, that wraps it up, I guess. We are going to say thank you so much to Janice and Paul Musso for the Down Syndrome
Thank you
Research
for having
Foundation.
us. We
Appreciate it.
appreciate
Thank
you
You guys
guys.
are amazing. And Megan, thank you so much for calling in. Where can we find you guys?
You guys can find me at Cooking with Carlina everywhere, and then on Twitter at Cook with Carlina.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Virginia Reyna. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.